We welcome that we managed to agree the language with our partners on the importance of rejecting and combating the extremism, terrorism, intolerance and xenophobia. The next couple of days will be crucial since they will require from all the parties sincere efforts to put into practice the formulas that have been so carefully elaborated throughout the day. We are thankful to our partners in the EU and the US for strong support of Ukrainian territorial integrity and sovereignty. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have questions, please raise your hand and identify yourself. Yes, please.
It's a Russian news agency. We are always taking and asking in English or in Russian, wherever you like.
It could be in Russian if you want to.
Хорошо. Пожалуйста, прокомментируйте ситуацию с запретом для проезда через границу Украины российских граждан в возрасте от 16 до 60 лет. Как это корректируется, как это соотносится с желанием добиться урегулирования, и можно ли говорить о том, что сейчас Украина вот этим шагом объявляет войну России?
Я, к сожалению, услышал эту новость только из информационных агентств, и я не видел такого решения правительства. Я сейчас это не смогу прокомментировать.
Anybody else? Yes, please, sir.
Yes, Boris Engelson, a local freelancer. I know that the situation in the east of Ukraine is not the same as in Euromaidan for 2 months, but still, when we hear the words, it seems that you require from demonstrators in the eastern Ukraine to do what precisely the demonstrators in Kiev refused to do. So it sounds a bit strange from a purely conceptual point of view if we want the word of democracy, autonomy, etc. to have a future.
There is absolutely opposite picture on Maidan and in eastern Ukraine. Therefore, the last 3-4 months, the protests on Maidan were peaceful. And what is going on in eastern Ukraine is that seizing of the administrative buildings by the violence and by people armed with the Kalashnikovs and people that are wearing the military uniforms and acting as the extremists.
Can we take 2 more questions? Yep, okay, please, go ahead.
Tom Miles from Reuters. I wanted to ask, why can you trust the Russians on this when a month ago they were saying there were no supplementary Russian forces in Crimea? Now they're saying there's no Russian forces helping the separatists in eastern Ukraine. Why can you trust them? And also, can you speak a little, please, about the economic stability that this deal will bring? What differences you think that will make? And obviously, how this changes the gas equation, if it does at all? Thank you very much.
Look, what I said, we disagree with Russia on many things, but on what we agree today is is to put an effort, joint efforts, to launch the process of de-escalation in eastern Ukraine. And Russia committed it to be part of this process. So it will be a test for Russia if Russia wants to really show that that Russia willing to have the stability in these regions. So
yes, please.
And economic, what you ask about the economic situation in Ukraine. So we want to, yes, look, it's with the gas issue and economic situation in Ukraine. We are ready to negotiate with Russia the price for the gas, but the price which will be based on the market grounds and not on the political pressure.
Well, I can take two more questions. So please, sir, go ahead.
Hi, Foreign Minister Lawrence Norman from the Wall Street Journal. My apology if this has been asked before I came in late to the press conference. But is it clear to you that Ukraine will have to end its offensive in the east under this agreement, or do you dispute that? And secondly, if there is resistance from the groups who are armed and the groups who are occupying buildings, how will this be enforced? And will Ukrainian troops be able to get those arms and get those people?
So first of all, we will look for the mediation of the OSCE to make sure that the force is not used. We will immediately ask the OSCE mission that's already operating on the ground to reach the places where the administrative buildings are occupied and start negotiations. And I believe that the Ukrainian law enforcement unit will not use force first.
And the last
Yes,
question,
yeah.
please.
Sorry, but you didn't answer the question. With all due respect,
Yeah.
will you pull your troops back from eastern Ukraine
Yeah.
under this agreement?
Look, this is you might know that Ukrainian government has authorized the anti-terrorist operation, full-scale operation, in the regions that were the mostly affected by the extremist and terrorist activities. And the troops that are stationed there, they are stationed on the territory of Ukraine. We don't have to pull them back. But, of course, they might be not involved in this operation fully if the situation will de-escalate.
Minister, Steve Sedgwick, CNBC. The Minister, the disarming of all sides was, I think, a part of the Russian requests as well. And I just wondered how you're going to disarm those within Kiev, veterans of Maidan who tell me they sleep with a gun next to them, the security of right-wing politicians who carry shoulder holsters, those who walk around Independence Square with cudgels and axes. Are you going to be disarming everyone in the country? Is that effective? Because we know how difficult that can be and how politically sensitive that is for your government, sir.
You're absolutely right that it's a very sensitive issue, but the security is more important. So this will, of course, it will address all those who has arms. And I think it's very important that these people will be redirected to the more peaceful ways of protests, if they need to protest.
And the last question from the lady.
Here, Isabel Saco for the Spanish news agency EFE. You offered today to begin a constitutional reform process. How far are you ready to go with this process? And in what extent, given the fact that in 5 weeks there are elections in your country? So what really can you offer in this sense?
So the process of the drafting of the new constitution is ongoing. And today we reaffirm our willingness to make it more inclusive and to involve all the interested parties to participate in providing proposals to the draft constitution.
Now we switch to Ukrainian for our Ukrainian journalists.
Доброго дня. Сьогодні ми провели консультації, що стосуються в першу чергу заходів по деескалації ситуації в східних регіонах України. За результатами цієї зустрічі була прийнята заява, яка передбачає цілий ряд заходів на реалізацію цього завдання. І серед цих заходів, в першу чергу, це роззброєння всіх угрупувань, які зараз незаконно захоплюють будинки і приміщення в східних регіонах України. Ми будемо залучати в першу чергу моніторингову місію ОБСЄ до проведення імплементації цих заходів. І ми підтверджуємо те, що всі учасники сьогоднішньої зустрічі зобов'язалися брати участь в цьому процесі. Ми впродовж дискусій, які відбулися, мали досить серйозні розбіжності з Росією, які стосуються питань територіальної цілісності України, питань анексії Криму, питань участі в Росії в підтримці екстремістських угрупувань в Східній Україні і питань ескалації ситуації на україно-російському кордоні. Тим не менше, ми сподіваємося, що підтримка Росією сьогоднішньої заяви по деескалації ситуації в Східній Україні буде підтвердженням того, що Росія справді зацікавлена в збереженні стабільності і миру в цьому регіоні.
Дякую. Запитання, будь ласка.
Юлія Ярмоленко, телеканал ICTV. Скажіть, будь ласка, власне, ті тези про те, що вулиці мають бути звільнені повністю